Ever freeze mid-sentence, struggling to form English thoughts? You're not alone. Welcome back to Tune In English. I'm Adam, and today we tackle that mental block. I'm thrilled to have Anna here. She's a fluency coach who's helped thousands speak effortlessly.
Thanks, Adam. I'm excited to share how to ditch overthinking and just talk.
We'll explore simple mindset shifts for confident conversations. Our chat uses daily idioms. I'll explain them later. Pro tip: pause and repeat our lines aloud. Muscle memory beats perfection. Enjoying this? Smash that like button and subscribe for weekly confidence boosts. Dive deeper with extra exercises in the description below. Anna, let's start. What's the first step to silencing that inner critic? Hey everyone, welcome back to Tune In English. I'm Adam.
And I'm Anna. Adam, I remember my first English class vividly.
Oh, really? What happened?
I froze completely. My mind went blank. Total silence.
That's so common. Many learners feel stuck in their heads.
Absolutely. We overthink every single word. It's exhausting.
Why does this happen? Is it fear of mistakes?
Partly, our brains treat language like math. We seek perfect answers.
But conversation isn't math. It's messy and alive.
Exactly. I used to hit the books for hours nightly.
Studying hard is good though, right?
Of course, but fluency needs balance. I ignored speaking practice.
So you knew grammar but couldn't chat casually?
Yes, I'd rehearse sentences silently, then panic mid-conversation.
That mental traffic jam, we've all been there, in the same boat.
One day, I bit the bullet at a cafe.
What did you do?
I ordered coffee badly on purpose, said, "I want hot brown water."
No way. How did it go?
The barista laughed kindly. We fixed my words together.
That's brave. Most learners avoid embarrassing moments.
But errors are fertilizer for growth. They teach resilience.
I love that, yet anxiety still blocks many students.
True, our inner critic shouts loudest when we're nervous.
How do we quiet that voice?
Start small. Greet neighbors daily. Say good morning only.
Simple but powerful. Consistency builds confidence slowly.
Yes, don't aim for perfection. Aim for connection instead.
Connection over perfection. I'll remember that.
Another tip, think in English during routine tasks.
Like describing your coffee while drinking it?
Exactly. This tastes warm, sweet, comforting. No grammar checks.
So we bypass translation.
Precisely. Your brain needs English pathways. Build them gently.
But what about advanced learners? They still hesitate.
They fear sounding childish, but fluency isn't about big words.
It's about clear, warm communication.
Right. I once met a CEO who spoke simply. Everyone loved him.
Wow, so vocabulary size isn't the goal.
No, being understood is the real victory.
That's freeing. Many students feel pressured to impress.
They break the ice with complex terms, but it backfires.
Simple words create trust faster.
Yes, try this now. Describe your socks in English silently.
Okay, blue stripes, comfortable cotton.
See? No dictionary needed. Your mind knows more than you think.
That feels true, but old habits die hard.
Patience is key. Celebrate tiny wins daily. Said hello bravely? Win.
I like that mindset. Progress, not perfection.
Another idea. Record voice notes alone. Ramble about your day.
No audience pressure.
Exactly. You'll cringe at first. That's normal. Keep going.
Then listen back.
Yes, notice improvements weekly. Your rhythm improves naturally.
What about thinking speed? Mine feels slow.
Speed comes from repetition, not force, like riding a bicycle.
You can't rush balance. It just clicks one day.
Perfect analogy. Language clicks similarly. Trust the process.
But students want quick fixes. They ask me daily.
I know, I did too. But fluency isn't a light switch.
It's a sunrise, gradual and beautiful.
Oh, I love that. Save that for the video description.
Deal. So for today's takeaway, start micro conversations daily.
Yes, chat with pets, mirrors, or plants if humans scare you.
Plants won't judge your accent.
Exactly. No pain, no gain applies here. Discomfort means growth.
Any final tip for Section 1 listeners?
Forgive yourself. Every mistake is a stepping stone.
Stepping stones build bridges to fluency.
Adam, that's going in my journal tonight.
Okay, team. Try one tiny English thought today.
Notice how it feels. Lighter? We'll explore more next.
Welcome back. Last time we talked about tiny English thoughts.
And celebrating small wins. Did anyone try talking to their plants?
I did. My fern didn't correct my grammar. Save space, right?
However, real conversations feel riskier. Why?
Fear of sounding silly. I once said I'm boring instead of I'm bored.
Oh no, what happened?
My friend just smiled, said we all slip up sometimes.
That's the magic phrase learners need. Mistakes are human.
But students often think natives never fumble.
Totally false. Last week, I called a spoon a spork at dinner.
Spork? That's a real word.
Not when you're eating soup. Everyone laughed with me.
That's the key, laughing with you, not at you.
Exactly. Natives value connection over perfect pronunciation.
But how do we build that courage?
Start with low-stakes chats. Cashiers, baristas, dog walkers.
Low stakes, meaning?
Short interactions where errors don't matter. Nice weather counts.
I see. No pressure to discuss politics.
Right. And use filler phrases while thinking.
Like, let me see.
Yes, or that's an interesting question. Buys time without breaking stride.
Does that feel unnatural?
At first, but it's better than silence. Silence scares listeners.
True, awkward pauses make both people nervous.
Another trick, prepare 3 go-to stories.
Like your hot brown water coffee story?
Exactly. My cat's weird habit or why I love rainy days.
So you always have an ace up your sleeve.
Precisely. Rehearse them until they feel easy.
But won't that sound robotic?
Not if you keep them personal. Your real joy shines through.
I used to memorize textbook dialogues, felt stiff.
Because they weren't yours. Share what makes you smile.
Like how I burned toast this morning?
Perfect. My breakfast was charcoal art. Shows personality.
But advanced learners struggle most with spontaneity.
They overprepare. I had a student who scripted grocery trips.
I require 12 Granny Smith apples.
He'd panic if the clerk asked, paper or plastic?
Real talk rarely follows scripts.
So practice reacting. Watch short videos, pause, and respond aloud.
To the TV?
Yes. Wow, that sunset is stunning. Or I'd try that recipe.
Forces quick thinking.
And record yourself. Cringe now, improve later.
I hated hearing my voice at first.
Me too, but you'll spot habits, like my habit of saying every 3 words.
We all have verbal crutches.
Exactly. Awareness is step 1. Then replace with well or a breath.
What about understanding fast speakers?
That's a different battle. Today's focus is speaking courage.
Right. You mentioned stumbling forward earlier.
Yes, progress isn't linear. Some days you'll take 2 steps back.
Like forgetting basic words during stress.
Happened to me yesterday. Asked for the cold, wet stuff instead of water.
And?
My team handed me a glass spilling. No big deal.
So reaction matters less than we fear.
Often, listeners are just glad you tried.
But what if they mock you?
Rare. Most people admire effort. If someone's rude, their issue.
That's liberating.
Try this. Tomorrow, say one slightly wrong thing on purpose.
Like ordering chicken cold instead of cold chicken.
Yes, notice how the world doesn't end. You might even bond over the joke.
Small risks build big confidence.
Exactly. Courage is a muscle. Exercise it gently.
Any phrases to avoid when nervous?
Yes, don't say, my English is bad. It invites correction.
What should we say instead?
I'm still learning, but I'll try. Shows positivity.
Changes the whole vibe.
And smile. It relaxes your throat muscles. Seriously.
Physical tension blocks speech too.
Always. Breathe deeply before speaking, like singers do.
Should we practice now? Describe this studio.
Okay. White walls, a fluffy green mic, Adam's bright red shoes.
Hey, they're lucky shoes.
See? Easy details. No dictionary needed.
What if your mind blanks mid-sentence?
Pause, sip water, say, let me gather my thoughts. Honest and calm.
Better than panicking.
Always, silence feels longer to you than to listeners.
That's comforting.
Remember, natives pause too. It's thoughtful, not weak.
Final tip for this section?
Track brave moments. Text yourself after each chat. I asked for directions.
Celebrate the attempt, not just accuracy.
Yes, small victories rewire your brain.
Next time, we'll tackle real-time thinking tricks.
Until then, be kind to your learning self.
Back again. Last segment, we practiced stumbling bravely.
Today, we unlock that magical moment when words just flow.
That's the dream, but how do we get there?
First, accept that flow state isn't constant. Even natives have off days.
Really? I thought fluent speakers never struggled.
Nope, my Australian friend mixes up left and right when tired.
Haha, so perfection isn't the goal.
Exactly. Aim for smooth communication, not robotic accuracy.
How do we build that smoothness?
Daily micro practice. Brush your teeth while describing the taste.
Minty freshness? Sounds silly.
Silly is safe. No audience means no pressure.
I tried this. My cat judged my pronunciation.
Cats are harsh critics. Try singing instead. Pop songs work great.
My shower concerts might annoy neighbors.
Better than silent showers. Music trains rhythm naturally.
What about when conversations speed up?
Don't chase every word. Listen for keywords like weather or weekend.
Like catching fish in a stream?
Perfect metaphor. You won't catch all, but you get enough.
But learners panic when they miss details.
Train yourself to say, could you repeat the last part?
That feels rude sometimes.
Not at all. It shows engagement. Try it with me now.
Okay. Anna, could you repeat the last part?
See? Simple. No apologies needed.
What if they speak too fast again?
Politely ask, could you slow down slightly? And practicing listening.
Most people will help.
Always. Kindness bridges language gaps.
You mentioned active listening last time. How does that help fluency?
When you truly listen, your brain copies natural phrases.
Like how kids learn?
Exactly. They mimic before understanding grammar rules.
Adults overcomplicate it.
We do. Try shadowing podcasts. Repeat sentences immediately after hearing them.
Even bad accents?
Especially bad accents. It builds mouth muscle memory.
My jaw gets tired.
Start with 30-second clips. Coffee, strong, needed this morning.
Short bursts build endurance.
Yes, and record yourself comparing day 1 and day 30.
The progress shocks you.
It does. I cried hearing my first fluent voicemail.
Really? Why tears?
I'd struggled for years. That message proved I'd turned a corner.
That's powerful. How often should we practice?
5 focused minutes daily beats 3 hours weekly.
Consistency trumps cramming.
Always. Your brain loves small, regular deposits.
What about thinking speed? Mine lags behind natives.
Use bridge phrases while gathering thoughts, like, that reminds me of...
Buys time gracefully.
Exactly. Or ask questions like, what was your first job like?
Shifts focus off your speaking.
And makes others feel valued. Win-win.
Sometimes I freeze mid-story, though.
Keep water nearby. A sip creates pause without panic.
Simple. Why didn't I think of that?
Stress blocks obvious solutions. Breathe deeply before responding.
Should we avoid complex topics early on?
No, discuss passions simply. Love gardening? Plants make me happy.
Authenticity beats fancy words.
Always. Your joy is contagious even with basic vocabulary.
But advanced learners fear sounding childish.
I coached a doctor who apologized for simple English.
What did you tell him?
Your patients care about kindness, not jargon. He relaxed instantly.
Connection over complexity.
Yes, now let's try a flow exercise together.
Okay, ready.
Describe your favorite childhood food in 10 seconds. Go.
Warm chocolate chip cookies, crispy edges, my grandma's kitchen.
Perfect. You didn't overthink, you felt it.
It felt easier with a time limit.
Pressure can help. Set playful constraints. Explain rain using 3 words.
Wet sky tears?
Creative. Fluency includes playfulness.
Many students forget that.
Language is alive. Embrace messy, joyful attempts.
What's your favorite messy win recently?
I argued with the taxi driver in Spanish last week.
How'd it go?
We both laughed at my wild hand gestures. He understood perfectly.
Body language saves conversations.
Always. Point, smile, sketch in the air. Communication has many tools.
Should learners correct themselves mid-sentence?
Rarely. Keep talking unless misunderstood. Fluency greater than perfection.
But errors become habits.
Record conversations weekly. Review after, not during speaking.
Separate practice from performance.
Brilliant summary. Now the golden rule. Celebrate being understood.
Even with mistakes?
Especially with mistakes. If they nodded, you succeeded.
That mindset shift changes everything.
It does. One student cried after buying bread alone.
Small victories matter most.
Yes, track your first times, first joke told, first complaint made.
My coffee's cold counts as victory?
Absolutely. Functional communication is real fluency.
Final tip for daily flow?
End each day speaking one true sentence aloud. Today was sunny.
Anchors language to real life.
Exactly. Language lives in your experiences, not textbooks.
I'll try that tonight.
Do it while washing dishes. Water sounds boost memory.
Weird but true. Science backs sensory links.
Always. Now, imagine yourself 6 months from now.
Ordering coffee smoothly?
Or debating movies passionately. See yourself succeeding.
Visualization builds neural pathways.
Yes, your brain can't tell vivid practice from reality.
That's wild.
Try it before sleep. 5 minutes picturing easy chats.
I'll report back next month.
Please do. Growth happens in the doing, not just studying.
So stop preparing, start participating.
Perfect closer. Every hello rewires your courage muscle.
Even tiny interactions count.
A smile and nice shoes builds connection. That's real English.
No grand speeches needed.
Exactly. Fluency hides in small human moments.
Like chatting about bus delays or shared umbrellas.
Those micro conversations build your comfort zone brick by brick.
And soon thinking and talking merge.
Yes, the gap closes when you trust your voice.
Trust over technique.
Always. Your accent is part of your story, not a flaw.
That's freeing.
It is. Now go burn some toast and describe it badly.
Charcoal breakfast art?
Perfect. Language lives where your heart is, not your textbooks.
Amazing work today, everyone. Now practice one phrase we learned in a real chat this week, even if it feels scary. Mistakes mean you're growing.
Yes. Grab our free PDF with all examples and a bonus story. Links in the description. It's your perfect practice partner.
If this helped, please like and subscribe. It supports our mission. Comment below with your favorite phrase. We read every reply.
Dive deeper. Explore hot topics like nailing job interviews or funny small talk via links in our description. New videos arrive weekly.
Remember, fluency blooms with daily effort. Celebrate tiny wins. You deserve it.
You're building courage, not just skills. Stay proud, stay curious. See you in the next video.